Hello, everyone. Today I have with me Valerie Hawely, founding partner of True Global Venture. Hello, Valerie. Finally, we could make it officially on records with this interview. So I'll leave it to you to tell us a little bit more about you and TGV in Dubai.
Okay. Thank you, Walid. Thank you for this introduction. Hello, everyone. So I am Valerie Hawely. I'm affiliate funding partner for TGV 4+. True Global Venture, it's a fund that is based out of Singapore, and the TGV 4+, it's actually dedicated to the blockchain technology. So we started to invest into the blockchain in 2018. I will tell you a bit more about which company we invested in. We put together a fund of 113 million, and we invested into equity, into different use cases of the blockchain, coming from Bitcoin mining and sustainable Bitcoin mining, actually, to entertainment. We invested in the Sandbox very early on. Another company, portfolio company in the entertainment space is also Animoca brand. And we invested also in a permissible blockchain for medical and pharmaceutical industry, investing into a layer 1 for gaming and an incubator, Chromaway. We invested into a trading platform and a crypto bank. So a very large number of use cases. Very much because we believed at the time that blockchain was going to be a very impactful technology that will change the world. And I think since then it has only demonstrated that we have seen quite a lot of evolution in the blockchain space, ups and downs.
I would say that the best, for me at least, the best investment you made was the last one in Ledger. Anyway, let me move forward. So talking about the latest prediction. So the last time TGV predicted the market trend, it was in 2018. So now you're coming back with your prediction of 2023.
Yes.
Different elements. If you would like to talk about them fastly, because I'm gonna focus only on 3 of them. So tell us about the TGV prediction.
Yes. So in 2018, we believe that entertainment and the gaming vertical will be successful, and that's what we saw during the COVID pandemic, and after the gaming and the entertainment space has grown massively. Today we are predicting different things. The first strand that we see will have a big impact on the space is the fact that the convergence between AI and Web3, where decentralized AI is now getting a real traction. We can see it with generative AI, with the ChatGPT that has come out and that will transform efficiency and efficacy. We all see the second trend that we see is that the metaverse is going to become very ubiquitous. We can see that many brands are moving into the metaverse. Is still a space where the brands are experimenting, but we see many experiential marketing trial. We see a phygital experience that mix the physical space with the virtual space, and we see that the metaverse is being adopted by a lot of brands and a lot of users. The metaverse, it's also the technology of digital twin. So it's not just in the gaming industry, it's also in industries that are more, if I can say that, serious, like manufacturing, like the space, like in the energy of a smart city, where environment have been completely digitalized. They have been made in a virtual world in 3D, and that enable company to test, to simulate certain things, and to bring to improve efficiency. So it's a very interesting space, the metaverse. It's also made possible with the convergence of technology like the virtual reality and augmented reality. The third trend that we see is that due to the crypto winter and the hype that we had just before, secondaries will be actually very well traded. The winners are going to be way more attractive in 2023 because a lot of companies, and there are a lot of companies, investors that are distressed out of there, and there are a lot of good companies that can be bought at a reduced price, and a lot of secondaries that are going to be very interesting. I mean, we can talk about.
It's a big correction. It's a big correction. You agree with me?
It is a very big correction, and I think many companies, there are very good companies out there that we can now get at a reasonable price. So that's going to be a big trend in the market. Yeah, and the fourth one is that centralization is dead. I mean, blockchain has always stand for decentralization, but I think we will see more and more of that. First, the Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin is going to really recover and raise in price because it's a safe store of value. It's the underlying layer for the whole for this whole Web3 crypto world, and I think it will recover now very quickly. I mean, I was reading this morning that the Fed is looking at investing in Bitcoin, so I think it will have. We will see a lot of movement in that space.
Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they won't. Let them stay away, because whatever they touch, they are making it a problem.
Yeah, at the moment it looks like this. It's true. That's very true. That's very true. And then self-custody as well. I mean, self-custody is also it's also decentralization, where everybody is in charge of their own coins. And we can see that with Ledger. Ledger has 20% of all the cryptocurrency. And it's a hard wallet, a cold wallet, and everyone has the custody of their own coin. And we can see also this trend appearing also in the B2B sectors, where bank, or for example CoinHouse, is actually offering the B2B solution of Ledger Vault, which is an enterprise solution on the back end. And the last trend in terms of decentralization, obviously, it's DeFi. I think DeFi is going to regain momentum big time because it enables a lot of solutions that where centralized banks have failed. I mean, we've seen some of these failure and crises during the last quarter of 2022. And I think that will push people to investigate DeFi solution more.
I like it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, tell me.
I like it when you start talking about DeFi, because DeFi is one of the most underrated solution brought by blockchain. But somehow we've been on the run always. Yeah, I mean, we started by Bitcoin, and then the rest coming, and every derivatives or every product coming out from blockchains, we're just we're riding the hype for a couple of months and then losing it to a higher hype. So this is how we reach metaverse, and I believe DeFi wasn't lucky with the introduction of metaverse, so it lost traction. So go ahead for the fifth, and we can come back.
Yes. So the fifth trend is that is probably the need for security and a more regulated environment, because I mean we believe that security and identity services will become much more important in terms of KYC, in terms of identity, like global ID. I mean, Ledger is giving the security. But I think the space will need to be a bit more regulated in order to have the market adoption that it needs, basically. But this regulation will need to leave space for innovation, and I think that's going to be a very interesting balance that the regulator will have to strike in terms of regulating to give back the trust in the system, the trust that has been eroded by the crises like FTX or other big crashes that we have seen in Luna or before. But it will need still to give the space for innovation, and that will be very hard to.
This is the biggest challenge, I believe. I from now I agree with you that this prediction will hit. It will be a ball eyes for the end. Maybe I will disagree with you only on the metaverse level. It looks like ChatGPT or AI is taking a central stage here, and somehow it is influenced by the fast adoption of ChatGPT. 200 million users in few months. We're struggling in the metaverse space. We're counting hundreds and thousands of users here and there. So are we as a community, I mean, and you as an investor, and here I need the full truth or the feeling, the reality. Are we running again and running ahead and leaving behind whatever we experience and running to a higher hype and trying to catch up with the AI wave?
Look, I think what you mentioned was very interesting, because I think generative AI is so popular because of the user experience and the usability. You type 3 words and then
the utility. Actually, the utility.
Yes, the utility, but also the fact that the experience is very easy.
Yeah.
And if you compare that to transferring USDT from Binance to your ledger, and you click on the thing and you don't know if you made a mistake in one letter, and it might go completely, it might disappear, and your 30,000 or 300,000 US dollar will suddenly disappear. So I think I think AI has reached a turning point, because suddenly everybody can see what it can bring. Before, it was restricted to the people that knew about how the AI could predict investment and portfolio, or how recognize images and so on. It was still mysterious, but now everybody can use it, and everybody can see the value that he can bring. And I think the blockchain technology hasn't reached that turning point yet, because it's still very unfriendly. I mean, if you go into a gaming platform, if you're not a gamer, it's not that easy. You know, it needs the
user experience is bad.
User experience is not completely, and that's what OpenAI has managed with ChatGPT. So that's what is very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think the convergence of the two technologies is going to be very interesting, because blockchain, it's about data, it's about traceability, it's about transparency, it's about record in a ledger, in a blockchain, and AI is about exactly, and AI is about analyzing data. That was the power. So on one way, blockchain is collecting data, and collecting it very methodically, and with very strict methods, and the other hand, AI will have the ability to get inside out of that data. So the convergence of these two technologies is going to be amazing. And I agree that the metaverse hasn't got the traction, or has got the hype, but perhaps not the traction that it could have compared to DeFi. But the metaverse is going to be a very huge database of data, of analytics at the back, where AI can really have a huge impact in terms of analyzing all these masses of data.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting what we see next in terms of AI and blockchain. And there is now a form of AI that is called federated learning, where in fact the models run locally. So it's also a decentralized AI in a way, where the models are running on local data and you don't need to move the data to feed the models. And then the results and the insight are then centralized back to construct or to fine tune the algorithm in a much more efficient way. So it's going to be very interesting.
So how is AI is affecting TGV work on terms of whenever like studying profiles of the companies? So are you leaving a layer of shortlisting, let me say, of potential investment to the AI tool, or you just still interfering as a human being?
Look, I think we believe that AI is going to be a big trend and not just a hype. We believe that AI can bring a lot of efficiency and a lot of productivity into companies at different levels, to write marketing content, to do advertising, to write legal documents, to very and therefore we look at companies that have integrated this or are ready to integrate these productivity tools or this AI
tools. You're not using AI as an assessment tool for companies you're investing in?
Not yet, no. Some funds are doing it. I think the problem here is that you need to have a very stringent sets of data. And it's quite difficult. I mean, because companies are based, I mean, we're investing all over the globe. So the companies are not always reporting on the same thing or don't have the same regulatory requirement to report. So it's quite difficult to have variable in terms of AIs that we can input and compare for investment. I think on startups, it's still very, very early stage to apply AI for investment decision.
You are investing in people, actually. You are not.
Yes, exactly. And the data is not, the data set is not big enough. Yeah, so that's right.
Are you with the calls of different tech entrepreneurs here and there asking to slow down in AI adoption, that because it needs to be placed in a contained environment somehow and not to be open for the public? Or you are against any? The picture that I have in mind, I saw last time a post, a very interesting post. So there's a post from the 1985. So different teachers are demonstrating in the streets, calling to ban the use of calculator in schools. And now calculator is everywhere in every device, and it's not affecting really your understanding of math. So are you with trying to contain a little bit AI, or should we leave it open as it is?
Look, I think we need to give it a regulatory, an ethical framework, a regulatory or an ethical framework. That's for sure, because it's it's very important. I mean, as you know, I'm also the head of the Center of Excellence for Sorbonne University for AI, and I think there is a common understanding in all the ethical groups that I have been with or in contact with. There is a common understanding that the final decision needs to remain human, exactly. Yeah. But the human will use the machine to help come to that decision as a tool. Yeah. So it's AI based decision, but it remains in the hand of the human. And I think as much as we can strive to get there, to keep that, I think then we will save. And in terms of skills, I mean, what I would like to highlight is that, I mean, I think our skill set as humans are going to be displaced. They are not going to be replaced, because we won't do the machine will do some of the tasks that we are doing, but then we learn to do something else. We learn to ask more clever questions to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think the skills that will be required to drive a AI tool will be different, and we will adapt to that.
I agree. I agree. Moving from this topic, Valerie, to the regulation topic. Because it is somehow we're talking about if we need to regulate AI or wait to tougher regulation. So moving till the other end, so we witness a really tough year. Starting from Terra collapse to FTX and the rest of the ripple effect caused by FTX. And now we can see that regulators are really using heavy hands on crypto space in general. So one of the questions that comes to my mind is regarding this killer kind of smart contract mechanism that is proposed in Europe. So now they are proposing a killer switch for regulators or for different entities, higher upper class entities to switch off or to turn off any smart contracts. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think I think it goes against the freedom, the value of freedom that the blockchain has always fought for. So, I mean, I mean, the blockchain stand for decentralization and no central authority, and the power back to the node and to the people. So I think that would completely kill the essence of what the blockchain is.
Yeah.
I think the regulation needs to be clever. I mean, it needs to bring back the trust so that people can use the blockchain, the cryptocurrency, and all what it brings. But not kill completely the innovation.
And what's good about us being in Dubai is we are seeing those companies flying to Dubai to enjoy one of the most advanced infrastructure in terms of regulation. So how do you see what's happening in Europe, what's happening in the state is affecting UAE in general? You're based in Abu Dhabi, you're working with Dubai. So taking into account what's happening with VARA, EDGM, DIFC, and now RAC as well. How do you see things?
Look, I think the UAE has jumped on the opportunity of standing apart and investigating further, but experimenting further with regulatory environment and welcoming so many startups or big company now, or scale-ups or large company in the blockchain space. And I think it's interesting. I think it's good. We are a smaller market. We are probably a new country, so perhaps we have less to risk than the US. We are a country of early adopter. So in a way, we can be a test bed for many things. I mean, not just the crypto. I've seen it in the past with other innovations. So I think it's good. I think VARA is doing a very good job in proposing this sandbox and 40 companies that have been tested, and they are following them very strictly, and they are putting in place regulations that are neither too strict, neither too relax. I think at the moment they have the right balance, and it keeps the company able to operate, and we can see what's coming out. But yeah, I think the UAE is
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think the UAE is in a very good space, and it's good that we are attracting all these global player, and we can actually have them here and see
what I see different between UAE and elsewhere in terms of talking about regulators here. I see them more open to discussions, more open to learn, and they don't have this arrogance of elsewhere market where they want to put really heavy hands on everything. So yes, they're still struggling with the onboarding, offboarding of fiat to on-ramp and off-ramp from crypto to fiat and other way around. But somehow the industry is evolving, and things are really moving forward perfectly. So my last question here on during this interview is you talk about Vara, and we can see that Vara really are taking the highway to do things, but somehow they are so cautious. So everybody was expecting Vara to be lean a little bit, but somehow Vara came out with somehow ADGM standard of regulation. So how do you think, and I know that you are well connected inside, so you know everybody, so how do you see Vara, how do you envision Vara role in Dubai future, at least in the crypto space?
Look, I think Vara has taken a leading position, and they have surrounded them by experts coming from various parts of the world. I mean, I've seen people coming from Paris, from Hong Kong, and also from London. They have also looked at what had been done before, because, as you said, there is a lot of inspiration from the regulation that came from ADGM a few years back. So in a way, they are not going blind, and they are taking the time to really see what's there and what needs to be, and discuss with the companies. So I think it's an example, and I'm sure that they will be consulted elsewhere in the world with what they have done, how it has happened, and it's a bit an experimental field, and everybody is learning from everybody else, and having this state of mind is the right one, I believe. And country, I know that Europe and France is also quite open in that sense. So the more exchanges can happen, the better it is for the whole space, because it makes it grow, and the regulator is not regulating without knowing or without understanding. And I think the more communication we can have at various levels, the better.
I agree. It was a very nice interview anyway. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we will meet again within a year time, so we discuss if your expectation were right or wrong.
That's the right one or the wrong one, definitely.